Welcome into our very first Halton Hills Online. I can't say the word community. I don't want to say the word local. We're Halton Hills, and we're talking about Halton Hills for 35 minutes or so. And this is kind of an exciting day, but I'll tell you, you wouldn't believe how difficult it is for the average person like myself to even think of how Leah works putting all this stuff together. You're the perfect producer. Don't you think so, Mandy? Like she like we've been repeating stuff for hours to get this going, and now we're going. And
love you guys.
and I just think it's amazing. I think you're both amazing, and we have Leah's a little under the weather this weekend, but he'll be back, of course, next week. So, but here we are, and we're brought to you by Max Tires, 905-873-9255. And they have the lowest prices on tires anywhere. And they also fix and repair cars and trucks and automobiles. But it's a very busy place, 905-873-9255. If you haven't got your snow tires on by now, I wouldn't go out tonight, I'll tell you that.
I wouldn't go out for the next 2 days.
And we're also brought to you by Easy Taxi and the $45 overnight red eye special of a cash on the dash from Georgetown, $60 from Acton for the Easy Taxi folks. And we'd like to say hi to Fred's Towing, the light and heavy divisions, all out there working. And hello to Dustin, my buddy Dustin, one of the drivers at Fred's. Good kid. And he's out there working tonight in the snow. So you be careful, everyone. And I guess the big story we'll get into is the weather, but we have Mandy, of course, and of course Leah Lywood here, and Amanda Bassett. And Amanda has got the gig guide. So, Amanda, what's going on this week in and around Halton Hills?
Okay. All right. So to start off, the Appalachian. Every Monday is trivia night at 7:30 p.m. Every Wednesday, acoustic jam and open mic night from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. And every Thursday, karaoke night hosted by Joe's Karaoke from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m.
That's a lot of fun, the karaoke. I'd like to say hi to Pat.
Okay.
Pat is in her 80s, and she's at the Appalachian every Thursday night for the karaoke night. And I'd like to say hello to everyone over there at the Appalachian as well. So how you doing, Manny and the gang? And I'll tell you what.
Hi, Shelly. Hi, Manny.
Yeah. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Carrie. Carrie, my niece works there now. And she's like Big Daddy. She gets in there with her nose and like the old bulldog, and she goes on the telecells and say, "Hey, I'm Carrie, and I'm at I'm working tonight. Why don't you come and say hi?" You know, that's what people like. They like the small town stuff. And the fact that I really our social media rules Halton Hills. It really does, because people really get involved locally, and that's what I love about this hometown of ours. But anyway, carry on, Mandy.
Okay, the Red Harp Acton. Tuesday, January 23rd, the Acton Fire Brigade's annual Ball and Supper is from 6 to 9 p.m. Firefighters will be serving the tables. 10% of the proceeds go to help support our local events like the Santa Claus Parade, fireworks, and so much more. Okay. And every Friday, DJ night with Omar DJ Happy Feet will be spinning music starting at 8:30 p.m. Come on out and dance the night away.
Yeah, he's really making it a big showing, I think, now. He actually just joined our Telencell pages as well.
Good.
One of them, if not, I think both of them. But yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about him. I think that's a lot of fun for people to go and listen to his spinning of discs, so to speak.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Mike Devine of Georgetown. He's the Mike Devine of Georgetown. But I've heard good things about him as well, and the Barbertown, and it's nice to see that they're reaching out and telling us what they're doing now. It's great.
Great establishment.
Carry on, Mandy.
Okay, Furnace Room Brewery, Saturday, January 13th. Live music featuring Mark Thackway from 1 to 4 p.m.
Furnace
And-
Room is back. I thought they closed down.
Yep.
That's what I heard. Or are there new
No,
owners now?
that was posted just yesterday.
Well, that's
Yeah,
good
no,
news.
I don't know
Posted
that
just
there was
yesterday.
I don't know that there was going to be much of a gap. I don't know much about it either. I don't think there was going to be much of a gap, but I don't know if they've sold yet or not. There was a big conversation on our talent sale pages, and I remember reading it, but I've slept since then apparently because I don't remember what the time frames were, but I think it's pretty close, so I'm not sure.
Well, I'm glad that they're back. I mean, I didn't want to see them leave in the first place. And new owners, and we wish you all the best. Nothing like having a hometown brewery, you know. I mean, it's and we've got our own Chicken Man beer. I mean, it's great.
Yeah, for sure.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Mandy.
And the Royal Canadian Legion, Acton 197. Friday, January 19th, dinner and trivia night in honor of the Chinese New Year, Year of the Dragon. Dinner will be done by Double Happiness, consisting of 1 egg roll, 2 sweet and sour chicken balls, beef and broccoli, chicken fried rice, and a fortune cookie. Dinner costs $15. Tickets are available at the main bar, purchased by January 17th. Dinner served at 5:30. Trivia to follow at 7 p.m.
See, now I'm hungry. Now I'm hungry. What else is
And
going on?
speaking of Chinese food, of course, Georgetown's favorite place is now open again, Young's, and it's now located on Guelph Street.
Right across from where you
Yay.
live, as a matter of fact. Young's
Oh
Restaurant.
yeah, you're a lucky dog.
Actually, yes, I can see it from my apartment.
You know, the story of Young's is
Okay.
they had so much. They've had, over the years, they've had so much success with the quality of their food, and they've always had a great quality of food, and some characters that have worked there over the years at Young's, including Lawrence, who was my landlord for 20 some odd years. And one thing about Young's is they always know your order when you call, because all of us call. I mean, it's a very popular spot.
Yep.
And good to have it back. Go ahead.
Yep. All right. Food banks. Both the Georgetown Breadbasket and the Acton Food Share need our help. Please consider donating a non-perishable food item, purchasing one of the pre-made bags with already in-demand high items in it. Each one of those bags that is made up at your local grocery store is set at different price points to make it easier. You can also go online and make a cash donation. Every little bit helps to go a long way to make a huge difference in someone's life.
And it's
Yeah.
amazing the amount of people using the food banks now.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
It's
It is. It's in all over. It's in unprecedented numbers right now.
What else is going on? Is that it?
Okay, Halton Women's Place. If you or someone you know needs help getting out of a difficult situation, the crisis lines are open 24/7, including holidays. The Milton and Halton Hills line is 905-875-8555. Please, whether it's to a trusted friend, a family member, a coworker, no one should feel like they have nowhere to turn. Please reach out. You are not alone.
Very good. Very good. And I guess there's a lot of things going on in January. Just because the holidays are over, there's still fun going on out there. The Barbertown have the dancing
Oh,
going
yeah.
on. The Appalachian have their live bands. And I have to say, before we move on with the show, the Appalachian are doing very well. Manny's really got stuff together, because I'll tell you a story about Georgetown. Is we missed the McGibbon. The old days of the Gib will never be ever repeated again. But Manny tries to get that atmosphere of the old Georgetown atmosphere, and I like that. I think that's a big key. And of course, Shelley, when you walk in there, it's like walking into the Cheers set on TV. It's like, hey, Russ is here, Leah's here, Mandy's here. You know what I mean? They make you feel at home. I just wanted to
Yep.
say that, because I'm proud of the way Manny's a buddy of mine. I'm proud of the way he's really taken that to the next step, and I think he's at the next step now. So congratulations. Now, I guess the big story. I'll take the big story, Leah, which is the weather, and I'll give you the first right off the top. And I guess the big story is the weather, because we've got a nasty Colorado low coming in, and the Colorado low is wet, heavy snow, and the winter weather travel advisory is in effect for Friday night. The hazards are locally heavy snowfall with total accumulations of 5 to 10 centimeters. The peak snowfall rates of 2 to 5 centimeters per hour. And it all depends on how cold we get. We might even get more snow than that. Strong wind gusts resulting in significantly reduced visibility and blowing snow. And it's Friday evening into the overnight hours of Saturday. Snow is forecast to begin late Friday afternoon or early this evening, which is right now as we're recording it. The snow will quickly become heavy at times before transitioning to periods of rain tonight or early Saturday morning as temperatures rise above freezing. And strong southeasterly winds gusting up to 70 kilometers an hour will combine with this heavy snow to cause significantly reduced visibility at times. Pardon me. Motorists should expect hazardous winter driving conditions and adjust travel plans accordingly, of course, and avoid travel if possible. Don't go out. Take extra care when walking or driving in affected areas. And we are going to get belted with our first major snowstorm of the year. And we've had a couple of dustings, but nothing like what's coming tonight.
All righty. So we'll start in with the first little piece of news. 43-year-old Mississauga man is facing multiple charges after Halton police concluded a drug investigation. On Thursday, January the 11th, officers executed search warrants at locations in Oakville and Mississauga. As a result of these warrants, police reportedly seized 2 kilograms of cocaine, 2 kilograms of cannabis resin, 3 kilograms of illicit cannabis, hundreds of oxycodone pills. Oh, that's not good. 7 grams of methamphetamine. Officers say they also seized $150,000 in cash and other items related to drug trafficking. 43-year-old Mississauga man was arrested the same day, has been charged with 3 counts of possession of a controlled substance for the purpose of trafficking and possession of cannabis for the purpose of distribution.
No. And they seem to be getting more and more into these stories now in locally, where you're getting firearms and drugs, and it all seems to be escalating the last couple of years. But another big story was a couple of years ago, the murder in Georgetown South, and Mandy has more on that. Right, Mandy?
Okay, absolutely. The son of a Georgetown couple who were murdered in their home in 2021 described the man responsible as a monster during a sentencing hearing last month. Martin Rerak provided a victim impact statement to a Milton court on December 1st as Justice Clayton Conlon contemplated the fate of Mississauga man Harrison Brown, 30. On November 24th, Brown pleaded guilty to first-degree murder in the killing of Christina Rirac and second-degree murder in the death of her husband, Andre Rirac. Court heard Brown and the victims were acquainted through a business relationship, and according to Martin's victim impact statement, Christina had reprimanded Brown at work. Conlon noted that on the night of February 16th, 2021, Brown snuck into the garage of the Rirac home on Georgetown's Hidden Lake Trail and confronted Christina, stabbing her to death. He then killed Andre, whom Conlon said suffered both stab wounds and blunt force trauma. Brown reportedly returned to his vehicle, which was parked a few streets away, and drove to his Mississauga home. Conlon said Brown returned to the Rirac home early the next morning and caused an explosion and subsequent fire.
Well, that's something right out of a movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just, I mean,
Not something
fact
I
that
ever
he-
thought I'd ever see in my hometown, that's for sure.
well, that's got to be the worst,
No.
worst murder we've ever had. I can't think of one that's worse than that, as far as circumstances go. To go in and stab the woman, and bludgeon her husband, and stab her husband, and then go home and chill for a few hours and come back
And then go back.
fired. Just unbelievable. And it
I think
all
that-
started over something as dumb as a reprimand. Like, sometimes you got to take it like a man.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And, it was obviously an anger management problem with whoever was involved in that. I'm not too sure about, but I know he's a Mississauga resident. So, the tragedy of it all, it's just terrible. All right, I'll get into the next one here. We have nominations, and they're being accepted for the Georgetown Lions Club Citizen of the Year Award. And that's going, you got a while yet. February the 16th is the end date. The annual award can be given to an individual, couple, group, or organization that has served the Georgetown community as an outstanding volunteer in sports, culture, health, or social services, according to a January 3rd Georgetown Lions Club news release. Many times the recipients have volunteered in multiple organizations over many years, stated the release. Each year, the selection committee is amazed at the level of commitment that these worthy volunteers have shown to the community. Now, if you want to nominate an outstanding volunteer for the 2023 award, you can fill out an application form on the club website or return it to the Lions Club Citizen of the Year, P.O. Box 73, Georgetown, Ontario, L7G4T1, or you can email doug1951.p@gmail.com. Now, past nominations are carried forward for 2 years and will be reconsidered. There is a chance to truly recognize someone in our community that makes a difference in the lives of many in our town, stated the news release. And the club is also reminded that the committee, to make an informed decision, we require a complete application or letter, not just the name of the nominee. They want to know why you are nominating them. Leah,
Yep, that's me.
go ahead.
A long-running, twice-yearly program run by Halton Regional Police Service for high school students is accepting applications until January the 12th, which was today, for its 2024 winter session, according to the social media post by police. Called the Police Ethnic and Cultural Education, PEACE, Youth Leadership Program. It runs for 11 sessions between January the 18th and April 4th in person at the HRPS headquarters. That is located at 2485 North Service Road, West Oakville. So unless otherwise indicated, participants are expected to attend at least 9 sessions. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Now, of course, we're just through the holiday season, and we have the first baby of the year. And Amanda is going to tell us all about who was the first baby in Georgetown Hospital for 2024. Mandy?
Okay, so from Halton Hills Today, it's safe to say little Blair Reno couldn't wait to get here. The baby girl was the first one born at Georgetown Hospital this year, coming into the world 2 weeks early on January 2nd at 9:45 p.m.
Wow.
It was a bit of a surprise for us, Mother Diana Reno told Halton Hills Today. She and husband Ethan made their first trip to the hospital the night before to check on the baby Blair, since she wasn't moving as much as usual.
Well, so we didn't get our first baby till the second. The second, eh?
It happens
Like-
occasionally, but not
Yep.
very often. It's usually at some point from the first at midnight, right through until the second at midnight, or when it changes over. So yeah, that's kind of cool.
Who was it? Pamela, I can't remember her. Pamela Anderson, who was the first baby born in Canada in maybe she was the first born in Canada one year, and she
Oh,
became
cool! I didn't know that. That's cool.
Pamela Anderson. Yeah, I thought I'd bring that up. Peel Regional Police have arrested and charged a 42-year-old man from Norval in relation to a series of alleged renovation frauds in Mississauga and in Brampton, and possibly Halton Hills as well. It's alleged that between September 2021 and February 2023, Hardish Kinda, also known as Sonny, of Weaver Home Improvement and Northside Renovations, signed 5 renovation contracts and collected deposits totaling $37,000. And police say in every instance, the accused allegedly promised to provide a service, signed a contract, collected the deposit, and failed to provide said service or return the deposit. Investigators arrested and charged Kinda with defrauding the public. So there you go. And you know, you can't do business in a small town, of our size, and have something like that go unnoticed.
No,
It's
and
just-
unfortunately, as we've talked about more than I'd like to, but the fraud, the scams, even locally, and it's on our pages. It's propping up on everybody's technology, no matter what it is you're on. People are getting duped constantly. So again, reminder, please be careful out there, because you can't be too careful.
Well, you have the same problem with the telecells. There's a lot of people on there over the
Well,
years, and it's
most of it's local. There's been things going on with local people who have proven previously that they were actually doing the things that they were committing to do now and are not doing. They're not following through. They've taken the money and that's it. They've had to use it for whatever purpose, and they don't have it to give back. So, it's happening. It's happening everywhere. So like I said, you have to be very, very careful right now.
yeah, there's a lot of scams going on, and a lot of thefts going on. What happened the railroad
Oh yeah,
tracks?
so we got this. We got it. Halton Regional Police are investigating the theft of a generator in Georgetown. They're not cheap. Police say sometime between December 25th and January the 1st, the lock was cut on a shipping container used to store equipment for train track maintenance near Carruthers Road, and a generator worth an estimated $3,000 was stolen. Man, oh man.
Right under our noses. Can you imagine that? Right by the railroad track.
Yeah.
You figured that
Yep.
the CN stuff would be. Well, there has to be some video ran of there. Well, maybe not though. I mean, it is a bit of a location outside of the main area, but yeah, it was sitting right there because you go to the end of the Carruthers there by the tennis courts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And the little cul-de-sac there. Many of us just go there and
Yep.
watch the world go by sometimes. And I've always seen that there, and you never think of anyone actually going over and stealing it, but whatever. Mandy, what's up with the
Okay.
what do you call it there? The CVC, the Credit Valley Conservation. They're having a lot of fun up there at night, from what I hear.
Yes, absolutely. It's explore
Become
a
some kind of
brightly
delay
lit
here.
winter trail as Credit Valley Conservation CVC hosts its Ignite the Night series at Terracotta Conservation Area in Halton Hills. Visitors can experience the beauty of the forest after dark along the 2-kilometer illuminated trail every Saturday night from January 6th until February 24th. Ignite the Night lights up different parts of the terracotta winter forest, and interpretive signage guides visitors along the path. Ski, snowshoe, and kick sled rentals and 1-hour ice skating rink reservations are available on site.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Something you can take the kids out and have some fun with.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the Raider report coming up. Is there any news on the Raiders that we? Of course, we're going to plan on being there, aren't we, Leah? Shortly.
Till the end of the month, I believe it's the 27th. It's the
Yeah.
last weekend of January. I believe it's the 27th. I believe that's Saturday. It's the event. They're having another event that we hope to be there for. It's our goal, weather depending, of course. We hope to be there and kind of chat with people that are there. Of course, the other news, for those that follow the Raiders on their page, there's sponsors coming in. So thankfully there was Harvey's, there's Toppers, what was
Canadian
the other one?
Tire.
Canadian Tire. So there's a handful coming in now, and that's awesome. So again, if you have a business in town, if you could, please reach out to them, see what maybe there's something you could do to help sponsor them, because we want to keep our team in our town, and that's the most important thing, because they're doing okay. They're doing pretty good. They've actually signed on some new players and done some trades, I believe. Have they not?
Yeah, they've had a busy week, as a matter of fact, and we've
Yeah, a
got
lot of announcements.
the OGHL All-Star Game is Saturday night in Collingwood. That's why there's a big delay in games. So, what I plan on doing is getting the OGHL information and putting it on our social media and on the radio, so you know how our players are doing up in Collingwood this weekend. It's a big weekend for the OGHL, and it's a great league, of course. And the Georgetown Raiders defeated the Niagara Falls Canucks 6-1 at Masters Sportsplex last Saturday evening with a decision over the Niagara Falls Canucks. Raider goals came from Teddy Puccini, who had a couple, along with singles from Luca Rea, Quinn Tavares, Teddy Puccini, Carter Real, and Brandon Kakai. The Buffalo Junior Sabres beat Georgetown 5-3 on Sunday evening at the Lecom Harbor Center, with goals for the Raiders coming from Brandon Kakai, Luca Rea, and Braden O'Keefe. Next up for the Georgetown Raiders is a matchup with the Toronto Patriots at Masters Sportsplex Wednesday, January the 17th. Bring the kids. Check out our new website, georgetownraiders.oghl.ca. And don't forget to make some noise when you're at the game. Don't be scared. Some people, they just sit there and they're very quiet. Come on, make some noise. We need more cowbell. We need more kids. We need noise. We need rock and roll. You know what I mean? We need to rock and roll.
Well, I think, and I think as far as the Maple Leafs go, I mentioned last time, I mentioned the Raiders need to go and talk to them and straighten them out. And you know what? They've won 4 out of 5 games in a row or something now, if I remember.
Yeah.
I've been watching every one, but I don't keep track of numbers.
Yeah.
But
are you talking about the Leafs or the Raiders now?
the Raiders. Remember, I said we need the Raiders to go and work with them, because they weren't doing so good at one point there, and in the last week, I think, except for last night in overtime, they lost that point. But boy, oh boy, they did really well with all the games before that. About 4 games before, I'm going to say.
Yeah, I'd like to say hi to my buddy who takes care of all the equipment, takes care of the boys, Andrew Groombridge. He does a great job, and I see him all the time. Does a fantastic job for them over there. And hello to Aaron and all the gang as well. Now, Mandy, what's going on with Drop-In Story Time? That's coming up on Saturday, isn't it?
Okay. January 13th at 10 a.m. at the Halton Hills Public Library, Georgetown and Acton branches explore new themes each week through stories, rhymes, and songs. No registration is required.
Right on. And you can carry on with a couple other events down there. For, of course, we already talked about Ignite tonight, didn't we? Yeah. We're pretty well done with the local stuff. Not much
Yes,
going on.
that's it.
Yeah. How are we doing for time? Can we fart around or talk about other stuff? How much does anybody click the? That's usually Lee's job.
I didn't even. This is all new, and I should have paid attention.
I know.
But I didn't. So,
I think we're at about 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes.
Oh, I think it's a little more than that, but yeah.
Yeah. So what we would like to say is really start pushing our radio. We'd like to welcome Bretta Crossman to our midst. She's our sales manager, and she'll be out and about in the month of February, January. We're getting all the sales kits together.
Yeah, so before January's up, we should have her in gear.
Yeah. So we'd like to push the radio station, and you know, we're on a new app now. Do you want to tell us more about that on the radio?
Yeah, we've got the new app with our good friend and radio buddy with Rick Sargent, who has an app it's actually out of Caledon. It's called Caledonia Today. We're the radio station that's on there presently, and so you can download the app. If you go to our website, go to the HHOL, so our Halton Hills online page on our website. Go down towards the bottom. There are 2 links there. There's one for Apple and there's one for Android. So whichever device you use, just go click on it. It'll take you right to where the app is in that store. You don't have to go looking for it. And there you go. Download it. And there you go. You can listen to us live, music, local events, whatever's going on that we've got on the radio. There it is.
I should really take time out to tell you who's on and when. I'm Big Daddy, by the way. I do the mornings, 6 to 10, with Bud the Spud on a stick and Peter the piano player with the polyester tie. And but you all know who I am. So, of course, you all know who Leah is. Leah is right here. She's on from 10 a.m. to 2. She brings her milk cartons in, you know, the big album. You know, Remember how they used to do that? And you know what? Seal Test had to make them smaller so the albums wouldn't fit in anymore.
Yeah, you know, I had them on my wall. I had them against my wall. And it was because it got to be so much. I had them on the side and they were.
Mandy, your generation, you had them too, right? The milk crate with the albums.
I didn't catch that.
The milk crates with the albums.
I got only part of it. You guys cut out on me for a couple minutes there.
Yeah, we're having some weather problems with the stuff moving in there.
Yeah, Amanda's signal is having a bit of a wonky.
Yeah, but Mandy's on in the afternoon from 2 to 6.
Yeah, I think we're the first to get hit here.
Yeah, I think you are. I think it started probably snowing already where you are. 6 to 7 is Moose Tracks, and then we have the Gatekeeper, and he's on from 7 to midnight. We have wonderful shows on the weekend for seniors. We have the Seniors Graffiti from 6 to 9 in the morning. That's all the music from like the 50s and the early 60s. And then we have, of course, over from 9 until noon, we'll have the oldies. And then from the 80s, 70s, 80s, 60s and stuff. And then, of course, we have our country music for 4 hours every Saturday and Sunday. Bill Smith is a big part of Halton Hills Online Radio. He's a huge music blogger, very well respected. He is one of our music directors at Halton Hills Online as well. So and he's on Saturday and Sunday evening.
And don't forget Austin. We got Austin Douglas.
Austin is the maestro. Austin,
he's
in
the
Indiana. He's the guy that keeps everything together. And we'd like to thank Rick Sargent for putting us on the app, and we're going to be getting an app of our own as well. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to wrap it up, and I don't think I did. And did I? I'm going to have to put this up like this so you can see what I'm doing. There you go, right there. How was that? Are we supposed to say community is community, or
there you go?
Community is driven by community.
You navigate, and we drive.
You navigate, we drive.
I think he's about 2 seconds behind us in that storm, eh, Mandy? Cute.
I think so.
That's okay.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us.